your brain is not set up for you to be successful in life. It's set up to keep you alive. So if you're like, problem, it was them, not me. It's all like self-preservation of the ego. No. It is not helpful to blame the other person. I'm Izzy.
I'm Maggie.
And this is the Long Game Podcast, where we talk all things relationships, faith, fitness. Did I nail that?
You nailed it. That was so good. I love it.
All right, so I told you I had a little story.
Yes.
From this morning.
Okay.
I woke up, had some student calls, then I went outside, sun was shining, and I went out with Mitchell, and I was gonna like read our Bible and chill, and we're sitting out there. I get my Bible, the dog's playing, Mitchell comes out, sit next to me, and he's like half awake, and we're just like sitting there. We're not saying anything. And I just hear this noise, and I'm like, what? And I start looking around, like I heard something. Like I was like, what is this? What is this? And I like look on the ground, I'm like, and I heard a sound, and like something fell. There's nothing above us. So I'm like, what is this? Mitchell looks over at me, and he's like, babe, I think, I was like, what? I was like, a bird pooped in my hair, didn't it? A bird pooped in my hair this morning.
In your hair?
In my hair. So he goes inside, grabs a paper towel, comes back out, and like wiped my hair. I showered and washed my hair after that.
Very fair. That's disgusting. We were out on a walk yesterday. Bird pooped right in front of me.
Okay.
And I literally asked Matthew, I was like, how often do you think that happens that people are pooped on? Because I don't think that's ever happened to me before.
You jinxed me, Maggie.
I must have. That is
Have you
disgusting.
been pooed on?
I don't think so. Not that I recall, and I feel like I would remember.
Twice. 3 times for me now.
3 times.
I can only remember 2 right now, but I know
you blocked the other one out.
I blocked them out. Yeah, little poo on my arm.
Is it luck? Is it good luck?
I've always said.
You might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, what am I gonna say? I'm unlucky.
Exactly.
Because how many people have been pooped on by
That's
birds?
true. Wait. I have a story too. Do you have time for it?
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of things dropping from the ceiling, so yesterday, and this is not a fun story either, there was a tornado watch.
Yeah, I know.
And so my phone went off. It's like blaring, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go take shelter in our storm shelter.
Wait, was
in
Matthew
the garage.
around? Or
he was
alone?
not there.
Oh, so you're scared.
He wasn't there,
by
so I'm
yourself.
obviously scared. So I'm like in a blanket. I bring my laptop with me because I'm working, and I head to the storm shelter, and I get in there, and like the rain passes. There's like hail and everything. It finally passes, and I open up the big door, and I'm hearing like bloop, bloop, like in the garage, and I was like, where is this coming from? And there was a leak coming from the ceiling, and then there's a second one too. So I put out bowls, and I texted Matthew, and I was like, I don't know what this is. So
that sucks.
That night he got home, so last night, and he went up into the attic, and it is like flooded. But it wasn't the storm. The storm was like what alerted me to it, because I was like, oh, it's like the roof or something really bad. It's the AC unit. Like,
oh my gosh,
gallons of water.
Oh my gosh, you have to call insurance.
I know.
Yeah,
we have. It's under warranty.
Okay.
Praise the Lord. So
praise the Lord. Oh my god,
we will be figuring that out. So yeah, just things falling from the sky. Super fun. Yeah.
You're just in there like,
I'm like, I don't know what to do. I got my little bowls. I was like, all right.
I do love that you have the little storm shelter thing, though.
It is awesome.
I kind of wish I
love it.
that.
It gives me a lot of peace of mind, especially when I'm by myself and there's a storm.
Solo?
Yes.
I'm just in the bathroom. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, let's get into today's topic, okay?
Perfect.
Where we're talking about personal development,
Okay.
basically. And I just got questions for us, okay?
I love it.
You've already reviewed. We're going to start with a habit shift or a mindset that's changed the game for you and me as far as personal development goes.
Ooh.
Just one thing that's been like, this has been, if you don't have yours ready, I have mine.
Okay, yeah, you go first.
Taking ownership, for sure.
Okay.
Because the more ownership I have taken in my life, the better my life has been. 100%.
Okay.
And I think that the more I point the finger, the less happy I am. But the more I'm like, no, what can I do about this? The happier I am, because like I actually can do something. So I think that is like one of the key pillars for me in my personal development journey, is realizing like it's personal. Like personally, what can I do about my life to better my life, whether that's spiritually, financially, in my relationships, in my fitness, like whatever it is, taking ownership.
I love that.
As much as possible.
That's awesome. Why? Because I feel like our instinct is to not take ownership, and that is a really big thing to learn.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's just easier. I think it's so much easier.
But it's not as like fulfilling.
It's
not as helpful for you ultimately.
It's not. It does not lead to, but that's like the whole, your brain is not set up for you to be successful in life. It's set up to keep you alive. And that's it. So if you're like, problem, it was them, not me. It's like, okay, they're the danger, stay away. Versus,
and you're keeping yourself safe.
Yes, you're keeping yourself safe. It's all like self-preservation of the ego.
And that's very instinctual.
Yeah. It's, like, oh, that's you, that's not me, basically. I think that, like, it's exactly what you said, though. It's not actually helpful. No. It is not helpful to blame the other person. Right. I get nothing whenever I'm like, they did that. That's why my life is this way, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's the whole thought of like, I can suffer, like, then when that thing happened, and only then, or I can bring that into now and also suffer now. But if I actually deal with it, I only have to suffer once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I like bring that with me, I'm going to have to like suffer with that the whole time. If I actually just take ownership, try and resolve the issue, then I don't have to suffer.
Absolutely. And I think, like you said too, when you take ownership, then it's on you. But if you point back to the other person and go, it's because of them that my life is like that, then it's also on them to fix it.
Yeah.
Which they're not
going to do anything. Exactly. Because it's not really on them.
No.
Anyways. So I really think that was like the biggest thing for me, and is the biggest thing for me, is literally just taking ownership.
Where in your life right now are you like taking ownership? That's such a big question.
I know. Well, I would like to say everywhere.
Sure.
That's the goal. I think no matter what, we have underlying things where we just don't take ownership.
Of course.
And we want to like blame something or whether it's literally like the government or like the health system or whatever, you always want to blame something. But I think probably like just in my family relationships, it's like, I still just need to take more ownership.
Yeah.
And it's obviously harder when it's like your parents or someone older than you. It's the person that's like supposed to be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's where it's hard.
Yeah.
So that's where, those were great follow-up questions on that. Like that was good.
Thank you. I know. Well, that's such a good one. Okay, wait, I have to think of mine now.
Yeah.
And I gotta read the question again.
Okay, so
can you repeat the question, please?
line. Okay, so
can you use it in a sentence?
What is these are a little shorter than the ones I sent you. So what is like one habit or a habit like shift or mindset or decision that's changed the game for you in personal development?
Okay. I think prioritization.
Oh, that
has been huge.
So good.
Thank you.
That is
I literally just thought of it off the top of my head. No, but really prioritizing and also realizing when I'm not able to do what I want to do, but still prioritizing some facet of that thing.
Yes.
Like,
something is better than nothing.
Exactly. We've talked about that with working out. Like I have been really busy lately. So
I saw you on your walking pad last night.
Exactly. Getting to the gym has not been as easy. So I will pull out my walking pad and I'll do stuff on my phone if I still have work, or I'll watch a show and still kind of be able to unwind that way without having to go to the gym. So it's like, even if I'm not able to do what I want to do and go to the gym and lift, like I will still be on my walking pad and move.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's the same thing with like cleaning the house or doing chores. It's like if I'm not able to do everything, I will still choose to do what I can.
Yeah.
And then also let it go and not be stressed about not doing everything. So really prioritizing what is important to get done right now.
That's so
what
good.
can wait, and then not being stressed about what I'm not doing.
Yeah. I think that kind of goes together with like, I think about it like in business terms, like needle moving things.
Yes.
Like where are the things that's like, these are just checks on the list? What's something that's like, no, this has to be done?
Yes.
And if you get those things done, like everything still comes together.
Yeah.
Like you may not feel as good like when your space isn't like perfectly clean and like all the things, but if it's like,
but as long as the engine's still running, like machine is still going, you know, like it's all good.
Yeah.
Everything else can wait. So
that's really good. And the main areas that's showing up in your life is like working out and stuff right now.
I think it's more of like my personal habits. Also, like, I mean, with work, it's definitely super helpful because it always feels like there's a million tasks coming in.
Yeah.
So it's definitely that same energy too, where it's just like I'll prioritize what I need to do to make sure that those needle movers in my job, like what's actually moving the needle, are getting done.
Yeah.
And then the rest will get done, or they might get pushed to the side and go, this isn't important right now. Like, we're not going to focus on this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be beneficial for the business, for my role, whatever.
Yeah. And what do you do? Do you like have like an actual system for that? Because I do, like, I have to write it down. I'll write down like all the to-dos and then like the top 3 priority to-dos. Do you do it like that, or it's just like you just know it?
There's a few different ways. Like within my company, there are definitely like there are requests that will come in and they'll be prioritized by high priority, low priority, whatever, and then I'll know that way. So they prioritize within the company, and then for myself, I star all my tasks that need to get done right away.
Nice.
Like during the day, like I put a star next to them because I like to write them down like physically rather than like in Asana or like on a Google Doc. Like I like to have them out in front of me and then cross them off as I do them. Yeah. And so I do a little star, and I love this is what needs to get done.
Dude, I think that's also something that is a piece of personal development, is getting pen to paper.
Yes.
On like things like that, on goals, on thoughts, on like everything. I think most people who are in the personal development realm and like are trying to get better, they write things down. Yeah. They journal, they write things down, they think things through, they have lists. Because I don't think you can like actually
and they say like studies have shown that you take better notes writing down rather than like on your keyboard, on your laptop or computer.
The pen to paper.
Yeah, I think you...
That's like me literally having this. Yeah. Yes. I was like, nope, it's like I have it. I don't know.
You internalize
it's more real.
A little bit more.
That's good. Okay, I love that. Okay, next question. If we could go back 10 years, what's one thing that we'd start doing now in like the personal development space? You could do like fitness or like mentality or whatever. I mean, we can kind of do both. Yeah. I mean, I would say, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say as far as like the fitness side of things, bottom line, fitness is a crucial piece of personal development. For everyone who wants to be like, no, it's not. It is. I'm sorry. It is. You have to. And so if there are kids who are listening to this like 15, 16, because that's 10 years ago, start working out. Get in the gym. If you're not working out, work out. You have to work out. If you want to better yourself, work out. And I think that kind of goes into like the mental piece, that you cannot grow without pain. Yeah. You can't grow without discomfort. And literally 2 days ago, Mitchell reminded me of that because I was like having a moment and he was like, this is growth. He's like, you got to look at this as growth. That's why it's painful, because you're growing. And I think if you can start to change your relationship,
shift your perspective
on that.
You're like, this is good for me.
Yes. Yeah. And love that. But we all live in like, we love to be in our comfort zone, which I know I've talked about before. It's like, it's not actually your comfort zone, it's your familiar zone. Because it's not actually comfortable to just never grow and like not be awesome. Like that sucks. But if you can learn to love growth, which is to love difficulty, to love like pain in a sense, not too much. You don't need to stretch too far because it'll snap. Yes. But it's just like being in the gym. Like your muscle will not grow if you don't tear it a little bit. And so if you can, I think that would be what I would just go back and like tell myself is like, learn to love growth and everything that comes with growth. And don't expect growth to be comfortable. Yes. And I feel like that sucks though too, because I'm like, no, it's hard. It's hard to grow.
Yes, like, I look back on like the toughest times in my life where the most growth happened. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for it. Yeah. But I still like resist being uncomfortable. And I know it's good for me and I know I should be uncomfortable and I still don't want to be. Yeah. And it goes back to like, that's another instinct. Survival. Like it's safe to be comfortable. Yes. I don't want to be pushed outside of my limits. I don't want to grow. Yeah. But it's so good. I love that. That's a great one.
And I think I would also tell myself though too, and this is more of like a this is probably like most people won't be in this bucket, but to also rest. I had no idea how to rest when I was younger. All I did was just like push. So I think I would tell myself like, hey, rest is a part of growth also. Right. And sometimes that is uncomfortable. because you feel like, no, I got to be doing. It's like, no, you got to trust a little bit and rest.
Yeah, and I feel like you learned that
I'm still learning
this year, a couple years ago. Like, it's been more recent.
I know.
But also, praise the Lord that you didn't learn it at like 40. Like, at least you learned it now, you know?
Yeah,
like, still very early on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what do you think for you?
I think if I could go back and change something or do something differently, I would like ask more questions.
Oh,
I would be more inquisitive, and because I think that I knew and have known really amazing people, and I should have asked more questions.
Wow, that is really good, dude.
And I'm learning that now, and I am trying to be better about that, and I definitely can still grow there too. But I think, there were awesome people in my life that I just could have like asked more about. Like, they were very wise. They had a lot of knowledge. I feel like I was surrounded by like kind of older people, maybe even like church.
I do too.
And that sort of thing. And some really incredible individuals that like from the outside, maybe not, but like knowing them, they were.
Dude, that is really cool. Wow.
So, and some of those, it's like, I don't have those connections anymore. And maybe that's because I didn't ask enough questions or like stay in contact.
Yeah.
But maybe I would have if I had asked more questions. And I feel like that's how you make incredible connections that can like not only help you both, but like form really amazing relationships.
Dude, that is so good. There's that Tony Robbins quote where he's like, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions.
Oh, I love that.
And that is so good. Like, being like, man, I should have asked more and better questions. Like, what are some of the questions that you would have asked?
I think I would have really loved to know kind of like what we were talking about, like what would you have done differently in your life? Like, what have you learned now? Because like I said, I do think that there were some really wise people that would have given great advice.
Yes.
Like, I could have used that.
I could have, okay.
Imagine where I would have been now. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to think about that moving forward.
Yeah. No, as I was looking at those questions, I was like, ooh, that reminds me now to be more inquisitive.
Yes. Yeah. I think I agree too. Like, I do wish I would have asked more questions. I think part of me too, I feel like I did kind of have a lot of like, people who were like, be realistic in my life as older people and like who didn't have goals. And I was just like, I don't even I don't even want to be like you. So I don't want to learn from you because you're already putting limitations on me basically.
Yes,
but I definitely did have people that like, I mean, just like people who are like, not to offend anyone here, but like older, like in their 70s and 80s.
Just
like
have
they
more life experience. Yeah.
I'm like, that is so much more life than me.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Thank you.
That was solid. I was not thinking of that. Okay. All right. What's a belief that we had to unlearn to grow?
Ooh, okay. I do know this one.
Okay, go. I'm ready for it.
Okay, so that people are judging you, but even more than that, like they are, yes. Like that is actually true.
Yeah.
But that it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like I've lived my life for so long being like, well, what if I do this? What will they think? Like, what will they say? And it's like, well, they'll think and they'll say whatever they want. I can't control that, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It literally doesn't matter. And like,
what does it
the
change?
older I've gotten, the more freedom I found in that, just to go, it doesn't matter as long as I'm okay with it. I'm on the same page with God about it as much as I can be, as much as I know. And my circle is like on board, like my inner circle, like the people that I trust who are also like giving me feedback. As long as we're all good with it, like I'm good with it too. It doesn't matter all those outside voices.
Dude, that was so good. I mean, I remember actually hearing that phrase growing up. Well, what are people going to think? Mm-hmm. What are people going to think if you go out like wearing that, you know?
Yes.
Or what are they going to think if you don't raise your hand and ask a question? What are they going to think about you? That was actually something that was like
drilled in.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't care. I don't know.
It did feel really ingrained for a long time.
I think it's a church thing though too. Like for some,
like how it's going to be
for some
perceived.
churches. Yes, I think it is a little bit can be. To a certain extent, like
because there is that idea like we are called to a higher standard as Christians, and that is there's value in that for sure, but not so much like not as much to base your actions off of what other people will think. Ultimately, it's like, what does God think? Like as long as I'm in line with Him and His word.
Literally, and that's it.
Because there will always be naysayers, no matter what I do, how I do it. So that's given me a lot of freedom.
I like that. Do you feel like that's more recently, or
yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot with Matthew too.
I love that, because I was literally gonna say
he's helped me so much with that. So in the past couple of years, I feel like he's helped me grow in that, because how he is just like, he does not care in a really good way.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about what other people think, and he will do what he's going to do. And I love that. I've learned from that.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's so awesome now. Like it literally makes me so happy to not care like I used to, because I used to be so aware of what people were going to think, and so worried about it, and like keep me up at night. And I'm just like so glad to not be self-conscious like that anymore.
That's so cool.
I'm still working on it,
of course. And there's always gonna be moments where everyone's like,
exactly.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Okay, mine was, it is what it is. So I was taught that phrase growing up for anything. And it helped to contribute to my like toughness, but it'd be like, your parents are divorcing, or you had to go through this really hard thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that was actually just like putting a wall up and avoiding and just like taking it and be like, I'll shove it down.
I don't want to think about it, feel it.
I'll never think about it. I'll never feel it. I will never cry over this. It is what it is. And I think that was really bad advice.
Yeah.
I think in a sense, like, it's good because it teaches you to learn to show up when you're not feeling like it, to just push through hard feelings and all the things. But ultimately, I think after doing that for 10 years and going through some really hard things, eventually, like by the time I was 23, that was like knocking at the door.
There's a lot.
All that is what it is. All that you put in that closet is like, I need to be heard.
Right.
And I think there's a fine line though, because like, you can't be in your victimhood and expect to have a good life. You know what I mean? You can't be a victim and enjoy your life and actually like grow and get to that next level, because you're just not like, because you're not going to take ownership. You're just going to point the finger.
Right.
But at the same time, you can't ignore every like trauma that happened to you.
Right.
Because then you don't actually get to release it and let it go.
Yeah, it's still there. Like you said, it's in a closet somewhere stored away, but like it's still in the house.
Yes.
It's still in you.
Yes, exactly. It's still in the house. So to open up that closet and go through that and not be like, it is what it is, to it be like, this happened. This was wrong. I'm sorry this happened to you. We can mourn over this for this moment so that we can let this go and actually move on.
Yes.
But shoving it down in the closet is not going to actually help us to grow.
Exactly.
Because you also can't grow without, like, if you don't have any vulnerability and any softness. But if you have all those things that are like making you tough and hard, either what's going to happen anytime you try and go to somewhere vulnerable with someone, it's going to trigger you. And you're going to get prickly about something, or you are just like a wall. You're like, I can't relate to you at all.
Yeah.
And then you're not vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so
you can't actually connect.
You can't connect.
Yeah.
And
which is so sad.
It's really sad.
That hardened heart that's like, again, instinctual to protect yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
But not actually helpful.
Yes. And that's all about like self-preservation, not growth.
Yeah.
And there's such a difference.
Yeah.
And I think we live in a society that's pretty much like, protect yourself at all costs, and like everything's justified in doing that. But
I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah. So, okay. What does growth look like right now?
Ooh.
Yeah. And you can be like, however that is, like spiritual, in the gym, whatever. Like, what does that look like for you?
I feel like it goes back again, like just prioritizing what's important right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's definitely doing like less, I think, and being okay with not doing the most in like every area, like in the gym, not doing the most, because I think for so long, and we've talked about this too, it's like I can't relax when the house isn't clean, like I can't chill.
We could never chill.
And I'm actually trying to work on that. Like last night, Matthew and I were hanging out, and he'd had a really long day, and I was like, there's laundry to do, but I was like, I really just want to spend time with him. And I don't want to spend time with him doing chores right now.
Yeah.
Like, we can do that. This is not the time. And so I was like, look, we're just going to chill. We're going to watch a show. We're going to chat.
Yeah.
And it still isn't done yet. And like, that's okay. Like, I don't want to have to be stressed about those things.
Yes.
So I do feel like growth for me is kind of letting go of everything being in order order and perfect.
Dude,
like
that's
that
so
is
good.
never realistic. So that's definitely been helping me a lot. And the same thing with the gym too.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
For me, what helps with that is like the whole, I know I did that one time when you and me and Mitchell and Matthew were in the car. I was like, guys, I just want you to imagine for a moment that yesterday when we went to bed, we were 90 years old, okay? And then we woke up today and we're this age. Like, how would we feel about today? How much would we enjoy today? And I'll do that, and I will literally ask myself, like, because Mitchell's always like, hey, let's just chill. Let's have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's got to be a balance. And I've always been more like, no, everything has to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. But I've started to, I've been so much happier just being like, okay, if I went to bed last night and I was 90, and I woke up this morning and I'm 25, I'd be like, let's go for a walk. Like, I want to do yoga. I want to go work out. I want to like do everything that I possibly could do and enjoy it. I'm not going to be like, the house isn't perfectly clean.
Let me do that first.
Yeah. So I feel like
true.
That helps me with that. I know it's like a far-fetched one, but
well, no, but it really helps you hone in on like what actually brings me joy. Like what's important to me that I get done today.
Yeah. And then I didn't even answer my question. Okay. What was I gonna say for this one? Oh, honestly, entrepreneurship is personal development on steroids. I feel like it's just hard. And I think also breaking into the realm of like being an influencer and actually getting traction and actually getting views and that is a space that I think is just personal development.
Yeah.
And you have to face every single thing because it's not like, oh, it's because of my boss or it's like, no, this is me. And if there's something wrong in your business, it's on you.
There's no one higher up to go to.
If you're like, this is my fault. I have to figure this out. And there's so many skills that you have to learn in order to figure those things out.
Absolutely.
And I think like just even how hard it was, like I think especially in the beginning of like when I first started my business, it was like the first 6 months to a year were so incredibly difficult because every single day, you're like doing something that you suck at because like B, it's something brand new because every single day you're doing something that like you suck at and is brand new and you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it's just like boom, and you're just hitting it. And as humans, going back to like the comfort zone thing, we stop pursuing the growth. We stop pursuing the difficulty. We like to stay in like, oh, I don't challenge myself anymore. I keep it in this box. And so if you go into entrepreneurship, it's constant.
It challenges
challenge.
Yes.
And so you're just like facing that over and over and over again. And I love it, but some days I'm literally like, what am I doing? This is hard.
And I remember those first 6 months and how hard that was. Like that was a huge season of growth. And I feel like you've gotten more into a flow of things, but I do feel like you're constantly challenged still.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I was probably crying like every other day. I'm not even lying. Just like, what am I doing? It was so funny because I was talking, shout out to Nick Patterson. He's an entrepreneur friend. He owns like FedEx car company, but I was talking to him and I was doing a podcast with him and I was like, yeah. And then it's like, one day you're doing great and the next day you're crying. And he was like, more like every 45 minutes. Like, and I was like, yes, it literally.
But other entrepreneurs get it.
It feels like that. It feels like this is so hard. And it also goes to, there's this thing that Elon Musk says, which like starting a business is like chewing glass and swallowing it. And
that's miserable.
He's like, sorry to not like, he's like, and he literally after is like,
Elon Musk okay? Can we check?
Is he okay? Can someone, no, he's not well. But Mitchell will tell me that. Yeah. Like, you're chewing glass.
Wow.
Because it's just
Mitchell has such great little nuggets of advice, by the way. Just like little things that he drops in. He's just like, this is growth, babe.
Yeah, because he holds me to the things that I've said it is. Yeah. When I'm like struggling, he's like, this is, you know that clip where it's like, you knew what this is. You got it. He's like that to me. He's like,
you're crying. He's just like, you knew what you were getting into.
He's very soft. He's very gentle. But he also does say that. He's like, chewing glass. Like, I'll literally just be like crying. And he's like, you're chewing glass. It's part of the process.
It's a good reminder, though.
It is.
It's like, it's part of it.
Yeah, because it's just the expectation. That's supposed to be easy and like not painful and like all the things. And that's the other thing. He's like, it's going to be painful. Just
like, this is normal.
Yeah, it's growing pain. And I think that's helpful to feel that. Think that way about it. Okay, perfect on time. Last question. What's a piece of advice for someone that wants to get into personal development but does not know where to start?
I would say, like, definitely be humble about wherever you're starting. But also talk about it, I think was really helpful, and not in the egotistical, boastful way of I'm doing this and I'm so cool and I'm better than everyone else, but like, hey, I'm trying to get into this right now. Like, this is what I'm focusing on. This is what I'm headed towards, because you never know the people that you know or the people that they know that may have a connection for you as you're trying to get into whatever your personal development is, whether it's entrepreneurship or working out, whatever it is. Like, you never know who they might know. And I think it also helps keep you accountable.
Yes.
And again, it's not in that boastful way. Like, there's definitely a wrong way to do it, but I think actually speaking about it, there's power in our words. Speaking it out helps you get there. Like, it's a start.
That's so good. Yeah. Tell people.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to get into fitness. I'm trying to lift right now. Like, maybe someone has some advice for you, or they go to the gym and they want to work out with you.
Yeah. Or they send you like a podcast that's helpful, that's in that realm. And then, like, you know how that is when you get a new podcast, you're like, this is everything. I always listen to this because this, you know what I mean? And it's like all you consume and you learn so much. And you're like, all right, you know, I really like that. I didn't think of that. That was really good.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh yeah, I have a good one for this. I really like, I feel like I got this one. Okay, so if you're someone who wants to get into the personal development space, you haven't been, but you feel like you want to level up. You want to level up in your fitness, in your relationships, spiritually, whatever it is. You're ready to take the jump. You're not feeling like you're thriving yet. I think the first thing that I would try and remind you is the people who are actually like special, just unique. That's it. Like, literally insane. Like Adele, Elon Musk, people who have something that like other people don't have. They are so like few. There's like, it's gotta be like 0.1% of the population are actually special. Everyone else just worked really, really hard. That's it. They weren't special. They didn't have more resources, like none of that. There are so many people who are just wildly successful, whether that's like spiritually, financially. And usually if you want to get into personal development, you want to level up, it's because you're like, dude, I am lacking. My relationships aren't where I want them to be. My business isn't, my finances aren't, like my fitness, whatever it is. All you need to do is work. And we live in an age now where the resources, you have ChatGPT. Come on. Like you have a personal trainer in your pocket. You have every single thing that you need, and there's no excuse, and you can have it.
Like, you can do it.
Yeah. I think it's just believing that and realizing that. But I think people think like, oh, you're just special. That person, they just are. It's like, no, the people who are actually special are like, they don't even count. They're so small.
And even if they are special or they have some sort of talent,
they still have to work really hard.
They had to work really hard.
They still had to work insanely hard. Yeah. But like, some people are freakishly incredible, right?
Yeah. Incredibly gifted.
They're insane, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Like, you know, like Maggie. She's a freak. No, but for real, it's just the work. It's just the reps. And it's taking that ownership in that process and realizing that you can. And the fact is, if you don't feel satisfied with where you're at, whether that's financially or physically, if you don't feel satisfied, it's because you have potential for so much more.
Ooh, I like that.
And you gotta go. Like,
you don't have to settle.
You don't have to stay
like
there.
Reach for the next great thing.
Yes, because you're gonna be so much less comfortable staying the same. Then you are gonna be like, dude, yeah, now I am making more money. Now I am jacked. Like, all the things. You're gonna feel so much better.
And I love what you said too, and you say this a lot. It's about doing the reps.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't expect to do something well the first time. Like, do it over and over and over again. I saw Alex Hormozy just talking about this, and he was like, people will come to me and they'll be like, well, I posted like 100 times and like it didn't happen. He's like, dude, I'm posting like 2,000 times a month. Like, I have so much content going out.
Reps.
It's all the reps.
Dude, I was thinking that exact same thing with content, because I'm finally feel like, okay, yes, we're about to hit 10,000, like all the things, like it's fine. But it's like, I had to do so many crappy reps. I had no idea when I first started posting content. I literally had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like it was all over the place. Like it was probably super embarrassing. Go and scroll back. You can check it out. Like I don't delete it. Go look at it and see what I had to do to now I'm averaging like 2 million views a month.
Heck yeah.
Like
that's
but
amazing.
because it's exactly what he said. He also was like, do an insane amount of reps, like that it wouldn't be logical for you to like lose. Do so many reps that like it wouldn't make sense if you didn't get it.
Out. Yeah.
That many. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay. But that's like taking the ownership and doing the reps. So
I love it.
yeah,
This
this
is
is
so
awesome. That was like right on time. I think we're good. If go do your personal development. Listen to this. You got it. Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you could share this episode with 5 people you think could benefit from the show. Also, please feel free to connect with me on Instagram at IzzyChinche or my website at izzychinche.com. Thank you so much for being you. Keep being a leader and making this world a better place.